All right, we need to continue on this project. I know people like seeing the same stuff right in a row, but such is life. So we're gonna get started right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, Ross the Oliver Man, and I think the easiest thing to do is going to be to take this down closer to tools instead of carting stuff up here. You know, it should be able to be pulled that far, I would hope. Somewhere in here, I don't even know. Is it under this? No, yeah, I found some appropriate trailer stuff. Here's actually that came out of the bag. The wire color. And fun fact about those RV plugs, if you know what I'm talking about, we can walk around here to the front in case you don't understand. That style plug right there, you see the big 7-way plug. There's actually multiple ways that they can be wired up. And if you don't know what you've got, you can have some really goofy stuff be happening. So that's kind of a hassle. I don't know why they didn't make that standard at some point, but not only can they be in different positions, but sometimes they switch up the colors of the wires and they're not really what they are. For example, most of all, or in every situation on trailer plug wiring, brown is always the clearance lights, but the 7-way SAE standard switches them to green. And then you, or actually I'm wrong, sorry. The standard is brown, but in these other 2 ways, the RV standard, they switch it to green. So your tail lights are green instead of the brown wire, so that could really screw you up if you have the regular old way. And then what's the other thing? The yellow. Yeah, like so we have yellow and purple. Purple is really the reverse wire light most of the time, and it's in the great position there, but in these 2 they use yellow, and it just screws everything up. See, they gave you a little diagram here so you know. But it is that has caused a lot of problems before. I've worked on stuff for people and they can't figure it out, and then I go to looking and it's because of something like this, and that's nuts. And unfortunately, what we're going to run into, I believe, well, there's our electric emergency brake thing. We'll have to mount on there. But this box, I would say, I'm pretty sure it's wired up for keeps. So I got to thinking about it, and what we're going to do is we'll mount this up here somewhere. Maybe we'll mount it right on there. No, we won't, because it won't fit. It's got those rubber knockouts to go through. So we'll try to mount it in some way where we can get the cord up from here into there and get that on there. And then we'll run some of that new spool of wire from this box up here, up this post. And then, like I said, on the other side of here, I think we will put some type of a junction box or something. And then that will provide us with, see, there's where the wires come out. That will provide us a way to bring everything together inside there, but we'll have good wiring from the tongue all the way up to here, and then from here we can just tie stuff together and go back. And for now we may just use the wires that's in there and see if they blow the fuse or not. I don't know. Let's take a look at this beautiful thing that I bought, and I don't even remember where I bought it. I came off the internet, so if it's no good, I don't know what to tell you. Don't buy one, because I just Googled what I wanted and found it. The center pin of that plug looks kind of goofy. We might have to do a test fit here. I'm wondering if that's really the right We might have to scrap this whole idea, you know. Yeah, see, they're using the other pattern where we have the brown wires right turn instead of tail lights, you know. It's so, in other words, I like these little boxes because they're all threaded like, and you can just tie on and go, but we got to do some mathematical conversion here before we get to where we're going, because otherwise it's not going to come out right at all, and we'll have to plug it into the truck and make sure. But there's actually knockouts all the way around that box, isn't there? I don't know about this though. Yep, that's what I thought. That's just the wrong plug. That is a round style for like a semi-trailer type deal. And we don't have that. We need the flat 7-pin RV style unit. So, guess what, my friends? That means we are going to be getting a different plug. Unless this is some type of... Well, it does plug in there. I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. We'll try it. Not too proud to fail. Let's take her down there to the tools. All right. What you're going to want to do is drag it through the mud so that now when you lay underneath of it, you're going to have a better time, see? Yeah. Where to begin? Well, common sense would have told us maybe we should have begun with the tire swapping, but I think we're pretty well locked into doing wiring today. And the problem is I didn't go to town and do my homework like I intended to, but if we get enough done here quite quick, everything will still be open. I can go get that metal box. Well, I was looking for I have like a copper wire cutter thingamabob, but couldn't find that, so let's go with this. We'll get rid of that mess right now. Plug might be good though, so we might save that as a pigtail affair. What's this all looking like? Well, looks like maybe we're going to do this. Maybe that's still hooked to the brakes. I don't know. We will figure it out, friends. Fear not. Actually, if I remember right, was there not multiple splices in this piece? I think there was. Oh, there goes my trailer brake wire thing. I thought I had that. I thought there was a knot in that. I must have cut that out. Let's do that for now. I doubt we'll reuse that, but you never know. No. That is doing nothing, so don't worry about that. Let's just hack more of this off. Yep. Goodbye. Goodbye. So here's what I pulled out of there. I like it how that red wire that was, I guess, going to the brakes, it changed from the red wire to this piece of gray wire back to the red wire to come through. We have all of these splicings. We have this rickety splicing. So what I would guess happened at some point is they ripped the wiring off in this section. So their solution to that was, I think they welded a piece up under here like this. I think is added. So where is it? There. This. They welded that in there, trying to make sure that didn't happen again. which is a good idea. There's another one back here that's a totally different thing, because you know, why use the same stuff? But that's why I'm thinking we'll use that roll of black cable and we'll get up there somewhere and magic will happen, you know. And I wouldn't be opposed to getting another box like this, but the problem I'm worried about is a cow will destroy this plastic box, you know. I'd love to get another plastic junction box like this and mount it in there where the wires come out. We can take a field trip and see what I'm talking about. You know, although as I look at my plan now, maybe I want to mount this. I could mount it up somewhere else. See, the tag, the VIN tag is there, so I really don't want to go there. I could go there, but I just feel like a cow and this plastic box would not be happy friends together. Whereas if I could get a metal box, which would be slightly smaller than this, just to make my connections in, I feel like I could tuck it in there and I could drill holes in it wherever I needed to mount it, you know, just a couple, just so it doesn't kink. I could knock out the hole in the back and have it where the wires come in, and it wouldn't be so much weatherproof I was after as I was just a nice place to make all of this that's coming together go into the right place. So while we're in here, let's see if we can't pull those wires up through that tube, because this is where we're going to make our new connections one way or the other. And we're going to try to feed some of that black cord down through there. It all makes sense in my brain. Maybe it doesn't make sense to you what I'm thinking, but the only other thing I'm worried about is, will that nice black cable make the jump through that thing? I don't know. This is kind of interesting. We've got those hooks, like tie down hooks they made there. I don't know. I guess what do you do? Lead your cow up there and tie it to the ceiling? I don't know. Or was that, no, I was going to say maybe they did that to protect the clearance light, but there's none there and there's nothing at the back. So, yeah, well, how's that for a view? I'm going to try to unwind some of this, which is then ultimately going to make it a gigantic mess. But dang it, I bought this stuff and I'm going to use it. It's also interesting to me, okay, I see how that works, that the trailer brakes went through there, but they're going down to the center post and coming out. So, I don't know, that's just interesting to me. Nice pliable. Will you make the bend? I'd say once we could get it started, it would go. And then you're going to say, well, feed it through from underneath. Well, I don't think that would be easier. This is what I was afraid of. My happy little plan is reaching a snafu right away. Because I need to go down. I could strip off the black insulation first so that I could start making the bend, and then see if I could get it to go down in there. Otherwise, we're going to change our plan again. Okay. I don't know that this is going to work. All right. I don't want to bend down and pick that up again. I don't have to. Come on. Now, I'll get you started in there. Come on. You don't know, piece of wire, how motivated I am. I'll spend half a day doing this one thing if that's what it takes to get what I want. Of course, I could solve this problem by making that hole bigger, but why should I do things the correct way? See? There we go. We're getting there. It's just going to take a little bit of persuasion to get it started, but it's going. Come on. Come on. Oh, this is going to be sad if this doesn't work. I was really looking forward to my genius at work. And you're going to say, well, why didn't you put like a wire puller through there? Well, because I'm not that smart. I thought that this would be rigid enough to do this job. But it doesn't look like it's going to be. Like I said before, the tube could very easily have rust in it. Well, Knutson, how far did I actually... I got in there pretty good. But I think what's happening now is the wires were they were causing me troubles. Trying to go every which way. Alright friends, well, I'm losing my patience. We can go. I got a wire puller. Do I have it out here in the truck though? That's the thing. I could try that, but I know it's not going to do what I want. I could try to pull it in from the outside, see if it works. Let me go see if I can find that. Well, you probably didn't hear that because I probably cut it out, but I cracked my skull pretty good on this top of this trailer. But life's too short, friends. I'm just going to drill this out, which will make a nice sharp edge for that to, you know, hit against. Trick drill is at it again. I couldn't get it loose the other day, and now I can't keep it tight. Come on, let's. Do we have low speed? Awesome. That's cool. About broke my wrist, but hey. Don't tell me you've never used a drill inappropriately. It's really going to suck when I find out that this doesn't work. Yep, we're just as far as we were. See, now I think that my stripped off wires are hurting me, because I think they're binding up. How much wire will I waste before I find out that this won't work at all? See, that's gonna slide down here probably easier. I may have to go get that wire puller though. It's probably in the basement. I think I used it in the house last. But see, there we go. That's what I wanted. This is rigid enough that it should slide down there. But I bet there was spider web or something, you know. We push through to the ground yet? Is that why it's... Let me go out and see. I don't know that this stuff don't work. I think it narrows at the bottom. There we go. So what's happening is I gotta hit it just right. Come on. You're doing so good. I think it's almost through, and that's why we're having the struggle bus. Because it doesn't want to make that last little... Alright, well, we're going to try a different strategy. I don't want to go get... I know that sounds lazy, but hey, I still don't feel great. I don't want to run all the way to the house when I can make this work another way. Look at how much was in there, though. Sad that we got to do it all again. See, I think we were almost through, but the way the bottom's made, I would say they welded and they got a little bit of a nub in there and it didn't want to go. Now I'm hurting my cause here by making it so much thicker, but I'm hoping that this will be a success, because if it isn't, we might have just made it a lot worse for ourselves. I'm hoping that I can get this worked in there. I bet we won't, though. If we could get you turned sideways, there's plenty of room. There. Come on. See there again, though. I might have. There. I feel like we might have got it this time. Or is that where we were? Let's see. I'm hoping, with any luck, that that smaller piece of wire is hanging down out of the tube. And it's not. And it's not. Oh boy. Oh, it might be right there though. Okay. I need to get a... I think that pick would be the best thing to get. There you are. There you are. Okay. We might have her licked. Oh, we did. All right, let me go in and make sure it's not cutting into it. We need to run an end over to there. So if you don't have a wire puller, that's the moral of my story too. You can do it with a smaller piece of wire. You know, ideally you'd probably want maybe rigid wire, but this will work. See, here's what my problem was. What are the odds of that? This thing was sitting on the floor, and while we pulled it, it rewound up into that plastic to where it was locked up on there. Oh, the stuff that happens to us. All right. Now we need to, let's see if we can, where's the hole? There's the hole there. So we need to go through that this way. Come on. Probably don't need the pull piece anymore, but hey, come on. We might have to pull it down first, and then okay, come on. this isn't going too smooth, but it's gonna go. But I need some more yet. Okay. That's probably would be easier to do it from inside there, but I think that's plenty. Let's see what we get. Is that in there? Yes, it's in there correctly there. I'm gonna pull up the slack of that. Let's throw this piece away. That's our junk. Let's see, where did it go? Oh, right there. Okay, come on. Oh, bird's nest. How do they build straw up inside there? That's kind of bizarre. Now, are we all the way up in there protected? I think we are. Hopefully this is enough. I guess that depends on how we end up finally with our final. Yes, donkeys, yes. Well, come on. I'm having some tape problems. Undoing the tape that's on here, on our pull piece. Well, Buddy the dog. What have you been doing? Oh, you got your nose kind of messed up a little. You've been into something. Well, that's okay, Buddy the dog. You're all right. Go off on your adventure, pal. Don't let me stop you. Oh, you're gonna go back that way. Okay, sure. That's fine. All right. Let's get this up here as such. See, I thought if we could just use the holes that are already here. Why should we reinvent the wheel when we don't have to? I'm thinking we're going to mount that box in here somewhere, because I don't think that it has a knockout under the bottom, but we'll see. Let me go get it. I of course left it inside the trailer, because why not? Let's see here. So what do we want to do? Well, in theory it'd be real nice to mount it about like that, but then we're going to have a really severe bend to get in there. So let's take the cover off and see if that's even possible. It might be, but oh, that's the side. Well, that wouldn't matter necessarily. Let me see here. See if this will even do this. Oh, I need to go this way. Of course, we're right into the same side that the other wire's on, so that's not real handy. But, and you're gonna say, well, why don't you do the other way with the women? Well, this is the side that if I do it this way, this is the side that the trailer plugs out on the truck. I really would like it the other way though. So let me think about that for a minute. So if I did that, I could flip this around. I might do a little bit of changing on my box. Well, I don't know. Or another alternative I could do is I could loop it around and come in from the end. That might be what I do. That would be that would make more sense, because then it will have something pulling on the end has clamps, you see. So that would be a handy thing to do. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. And I might actually need a little more slack of this cable, but you know, let's do a test fit. The old testicle. Okay, come on. Yeah, see, I think if I get more cable so that I could loop it up, I could have this box more in the middle where I'm bolting through a sheet metal, and I think that's going to work fine. Let me just pull a little more slack. Or not. Or not. Actually, what I'll probably do is push the slack down in from inside the trailer. And then feed it around until I get where I want to go. Okay, we're making progress. Don't worry. It's just taking a minute. Did we get it pulled through? Yes. All right, that's more better. Then we can do this number here. Put that in there. Have that mounted. And there we're golden. That'll stay nice. And then we got plenty of room for our plug to make it to there. Actually too much room, but we'll wrap it around the jack like the standard procedure is. Because actually, if I ever would pull it with my service truck, the things are way far over because I just put them into the bumper. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Something like that. More power to us, friends. Sure. Now I just got to get motivated to do it. You know, I would say 1/4-inch bolts would hold this down. So a good 1/4-inch drill bit and some 1/4-inch bolts. And I think the next step is to bolt this down solid so that then we can build off of it. And then we'll figure out how we're going to do that. This thing technically needs to be mounted on there somewhere, even if it's not going to be hooked up right now. But it will be, friends. It will be. We'll get her. I promise. All right. I thought, how can I make this as difficult as possible? Then I thought, screw-headed 1/4-inch bolts. Why not? How is this thing going to be? It's kind of wobbly, isn't it? Almost like the plate's bent. But Ross doesn't care. Let's see if that made a mark. Oh, this is that battery that's dead. Forgot about that. I grabbed this good drill because it already had a 1/4-inch bit in it. But it's the trick 1/4-inch bit. Man. This is rotten cable. Wonder if a nice hammer hit there would do that some wonders, I think. Man, it says you got too hot. It's winter time. You don't need to be getting too hot in winter time. Uh-oh, what do we got going here? Our underneath of our trailer doesn't want to participate. Oh, we probably lost the other one, didn't we? Why not? Why not go ahead and lose that while we're at it? Oh, do I need to get up to see because it won't just go, even though we just did this just fine? Where are you? There. Okay. Is everybody going to participate now? All of the pieces. Because so far, you haven't been doing a very good job, trailer parts. You've been trying your best to thwart me at every turn. Well, one's tight. Let's see. Alright. We need to put that back in because I don't know how it bounced out of there or when. But it did. That's in there. This needs to come out. I guess it doesn't need to come out, but it would be easier to... Let's see here. Will that feed through there? Yeah, see, it's going to be easier to bushing it, but we can go like that. Come on. There we go. That's good and plenty. That'll lay in there like that. So we are good to go. Providing we can get this tight. We should have stripped the insulation back first, but we did not. So instead of doing that, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Yeah, I will get that cut off of there somehow. We'll have plenty wire in this box, but that's okay. It's doing what we want. And then see, we'll give this a few courtesy wraps around here so that it doesn't drag the ground. Probably even another one. Does that leave? Oh, it doesn't leave enough room for the we'll figure it out. That'll be super annoying. I think the jack handle's bent. So yeah, that'll work. Let's get this stripped off, and then we will do some test lighting to how we're going to making sure that we hook this up right. Because what I'm worried about is that they have the plug on the truck wired wrong, and that the wires that are in here aren't really doing the thing that I want them to do. Like, for instance, I want, when we're said and done, I want my brown wire to be taillights. I want my green wire to be whatever turn signal that's supposed to be, and this and that, and the other. But, oh my gosh, donkeys. I guess I could go by this, since this is what's on this cover. But like I said, I still need to make sure that the plug on the truck is really playing nice with what this is, because it may not be. So it will just be easier to do test light situation. And then we'll put ends on it, hook it up and seal this box, and then we'll go about our happy life there. So yeah, let me just figure it out. All right, we're ready to put some stuff on. Now, some stuff doesn't ever change, as said before. Two things that never change are blue, which is the trailer brakes, and the white one is always the ground. So those two, we can just go ahead and mount up now so that they're out of our way and we're not fighting that the whole time. So that's what we'll do. All right. Okay, I'll just punch you in the face. That's fine. Let's hope this goes. And we'll do this blue one. Like I said, those two should never change. But everything else could be almost anything. And since we don't know how this pre-made cord end is going to mesh with the Super Cheap Super Duty, we're going to test light it. Come on. All right, friends, the GoPro's dead, but I made some temporary connections. So we're gonna try it and see if we got any lights on the back end. Let's start with clearance lights. Ooh, they were already coming on whenever I opened the door of the truck, because they do that thing, you know. So what do we have? We have clearance lights all everywhere that they're hooked up, except this side, which the front's not hooked up and neither is that one. So yeah, you pull out the switch and all three of them come on. So that's part of it, you know. We're on the right track. I gotta get a taillight bulb for that though, because it's burned out. Let's go. All right, this is supposed to be left turn. Did I get them hooked up right? I think I did. Yes, we got left turn, so that means we got a brake light. Let's go switch to right turn. It should work. Look at that. Would you just look at it? Yeah, too bad that taillight's cracked. Wonder if I did that. I don't know. I don't remember it being busted yesterday. But I don't know what I would have hit that would have caused that. But we got brake lights then. We can put the hazard flashers on just to show you for sure. How'd that card blew away. Or that was the inner piece probably. Okay, hazard flashers. They should work without the key on. Let's turn the key off. Yes. Yep, so if your hazard flashers work, your brake lights work, because it's the same wire that makes them go. So we know that all the lights work now that are here. Now, we're going to totally start over and make them better as we go, but we've got that far. Yeah, see, when you open the door, the clearance lights stay on for a while on the truck, but that's exactly what I wanted. I got that hooked up from the truck to there. I got a nice wire, ran up into here, and we are set up where, I mean, I could use this now for the task that I want to use it for that's not animal related, if I don't get back to it. But all I got to do is mount me a box over here, which there should be plenty of room right in here for. Mount it in there, bolt her down, and then make my loop connections, tape them up, put the metal cover over it, and that's a metal box should be good enough that they won't totally destroy it, you know. That's what I'm after. I've done that before on trailers, and that will put all of our electrical right up here where we can get to it if we have trouble. All of the wiring is run above. It's not great looking. I mean, I I'm not going to deny that, but as long as it's working, I'm kind of tempted to just leave her go, you know? So, like that there, looks like it's melted to it almost. Yeah, it has been. It's been melting. So is that appropriate? Probably not. But is it worth me tearing it all out of there and starting over? Maybe not till it becomes a problem. I was looking at how what it must do is, the brakes are running through here. They go down to that set of brakes and then they must go over underneath the floor, like taped to the axle. This must be what the guy did. But here I've got wires I can tie in to get me a tail light there. I mean, those wires aren't great. Ooh, that's bare. And now I know about it, so now it's gonna short out instantly. So, yeah, that's not good. I'm gonna have to put tape over it at the very least, or we're gonna have a problem. So I probably will go ahead and, man, that sucks. It was just fine till I looked at it. And now it will never run again because I know that it's bare. But what I'm gonna do is, will you sit there? Probably not. No, you won't sit there. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna get better lights, and I probably will. Pull a new wire through here. It's no big deal. I can tape up. I can just, you know what I'm saying. I can tape the new wire to this old wire and just pull it through. Because this is a small enough wire, we're only gonna have 2 wires, you know. But that's pretty rusty there. And so I don't know, but that'll save us for now. Do not crack your head. That bar gets me every time. Our other trailer is not like that. It's higher, and I'm not used to this one. But anywho's, those things up there are missing their covers, so I need one of those 3 light things. I'll go see what exists. And then I need 4 side markers. 2 of them probably need to be, I think the back 2 are supposed to be red. And then the front 2 are supposed to be yellow. I mean, if I really was motivated, I could put a 3rd one in the middle, but I don't think that's necessary. So I'll see what I can find. I think this trailer was supposed to have round ones, even though this side has 2 flat ones. But, and then I will shop around for, boy, they got some nice wire there, but they just didn't follow through. We'll get it. We'll just start over and run new wire when we get that far. But I'll get the kind of lights that fit with the grommets in those original holes, since this one's destroyed anyway. And I'll get me some LED stuff. That's what's gonna go in here. I don't put anything in that's not LED because I don't want to be messing with bulbs all the time. If I can get LED stuff, that's what's gonna happen. And then, like I said, we'll make our final nice connection there whenever I get to town and get that box bought. But for now, we got us something, friends. We got us something that I can do my project with I needed and not have to worry about getting pulled over for that. I'll get pulled over for something else, but not having non-working lights. So that's always a good thing. But I think we're going to call this one here. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. After watching what you just saw, do you feel like your IQ has dropped lower than your credit score? Well, there's no reason that both of us should be miserable, so go ahead and hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. That stuff costs you nothing, and it really helps me out. Your banker may not approve, but I know mine will. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.